Hey guys, welcome back to another video. If you're new here, my name is Travis, and today we are working on a 1957 Pontiac Star Chief. But this isn't the average vehicle I work on, and let me tell you why. Typically the cars I get a hold of or work on are just usually strangers in the night. I don't know a lot of the history on them. I don't know where they came from. I don't know where they're going. They just appear, and when you go over to their house, they say, I don't know, I've never seen it run. I don't know, I bought it as a project. I never got to it. This one is different. I de facto know the history of this car from day one. This is my good friend Dan's car, and this has been in his family since brand new. This car was bought brand new in Creston, Iowa in 1957 by Dan's grandfather. And he drove it in 57 all the way until about 62, 63, and then it sat. Well, when Dan grew up and got into high school, he took this car in 79, so it sat for about 15 years or whatnot, and he got it running again, and he did the interior, and he did the paint, and he put some wheels and tires on it, and he drove it in high school. He drove it to prom, he drove it to football games, he took it to a Styx concert in Des Moines, he drove girls around in this car, Now in 1982-83, Dan didn't want to live on the farm anymore and be a farm boy, so he set his sights west. And he moved away and the car stayed. But he always knew one day he would bring the car out where he lived. So he set it in a barn, he put it on blocks, and there it sat in this barn on a farm he grew up on in Iowa for 42 years. And only recently did he finally go back to Iowa, pull the car out, wash it off, put it on a trailer, and took it all the way 1,500 miles back to Tucson, built this building, and put it in here. And that is where we're at today. And it's kind of funny, I've known Dan since I was in high school, since I was like 17, I'm 27 now. I've known him for 10 years, and I've heard about this car for 10 years, and here it finally is. Let's take a walk around the car, we'll check out the condition, we'll check out what we're working with, and I'll tell you a little more about what I know about it as we go around it before we dig into the engine. There we go. This is the original sales receipt for the car from Creston, Iowa in 1957. Ray Davis Pontiac Buick. Your grandpa's name was what?
Francis.
Francis. Creston, Iowa sales service parts. There's the Pontiac emblem, and that was the Buick emblem back in the day. Look, he paid cash. No charge, no credit, no finance. Paid cash for it. $2,768.70. Stamped. Thank you. Recorded by Ray. That must have been the sales guy, Ray. Wow. Pretty cool to have that. That's original. A piece of history to this car. I mean, look at these bumpers, look pretty decent. There's a little bit of fading right there, but that would come off. I mean, all the emblems are there. Nothing's been taken off. Nothing's been robbed. All the bezels and the trim rings and these light up. These are your turn signal indicators. This is a really cool feature. I like that a lot. And even on some of the Pontiacs, I think it was the 55s, they had an Indian head here that would light up on the hood. I mean, Pontiac was very cool. They had some cool stuff back in the day. These were rims Dan put on it back in the late 70s, early 80s. Got your Star Chief emblem. You have your trim going down the side, two-tone. Let me get over here and look at it a little better for you. Coming down the side of the car, you can see that coral sticking through right there where the paint has flaked off. That's the original color, that coral color. He had it painted this maroon burgundy. You can see the kind of like that road trim right here. It's beat up a little bit. It's got some dents and dings in it from living on a gravel road on a farm. And that's why he put the mud flaps on it too, is because the rocks would just kick up everywhere. But check out the bottoms of the doors. And they don't have no rot in them. Very nice for being that old. And even the door rubber is still pliable, which is pretty amazing. He had the interior redone when he got this car running in the early 80s. He had the door panels done. He had the seats done. He had the headliner done, which is still in immaculate shape for being 40 some years old. He did take the carpet out And he showed me a picture. It was like this red shag carpet. I guess it was the style of the day, that shag carpet. The floors are very solid. I think he said he redid the driver's side floor back in the day. He also said he put this 8-track player in there along with the factory radio. It does have a factory radio. Even the selectors work. You know, those are probably the AM stations that they listened to back in the 50s. You know, whatever these are set to. Glove box, ashtray, Star Chief emblem. Look at this. He said the clock never worked, so he took it out and put a picture of the car. Looks like you have all your gauges, turn signal, fan speed, air off. Little stuck. I hear the door. Hear it? Look at that. I love these old steering wheels. Pontiac. With the Indian head right there. For mileage, it says 15531. Probably 115. These Speedos are cool because they come forward. They're like a line that just travels across here. It's not like a needle. These are pretty cool. Got your air vent doors. They're froze up. We got keys. Accessory, off, on, start. Kind of funny they thought about cup holders back in those days. Look at that. Opens like a bank door. Got your factory spare. Still has the factory jack, the Widowmaker jacks or whatever they call them, the bumper jacks. They go right here. But look at the floors. I mean, man, this thing is in great shape. This is such a great, you know, car to start with. I think he wants to restore it back to factory, but look at that. Shuts perfect, just like day one, just like the factory. So cool. Floors are good. It's just a clean bean car, man. Listen to that. Listen to those doors. That only happens once. That only happens once. Once you restore them, they don't shut like that again, I'm telling you. 348 cubic inch V8. I don't know what transmissions these cars had. I know that Chevy had the Hydromatic and the Power Glide, and Cadillac had the Jetaway, and Buicks had the Dynaflows, like that single speed transmission. But the Pontiacs, I'm not 100% sure what they had for transmissions, if they had the Hydromatics or they had some Pontiac version transmission. I'm not 100% sure. This is all factory under here. This is all original. I mean, this is all still here. Pretty cool. You know, we got your 12-volt generator, oil fill, oil bath, air cleaner, power steering. This looks exactly like the power steering pump on my Cadillac. I wonder if they use the same one. Radiator hose that's busted. I can feel a hole. Pack rats did get to it a little bit. We got a hole there. And let's see. The spark plug wires are still there. I think, yeah, most of them are still there. Coil, windshield wiper fluid bottle, his old vacuum operated wiper fluid nozzle shooter. Pretty cool. Still had vacuum operated wipers. Chevy had electric wipers in '56, so everybody else still had vacuum for a few years. So it's kind of interesting that they did it that way. Even Cadillac had vacuum wipers. You think they would have got the electric first. Driver's side, we got, yeah, some wires 8, some spark plug wires 8 off. Got our voltage regulator, 12-volt voltage regulator, heater stuff. Blower motor is in here for your heater, and these are kind of interesting. This is a vacuum holder tank. This is for your power brake booster. This holds vacuum so that if your car stops, you can get a few more hits of power brake before you use up all the vacuum. It's a storage tank. So obviously we're not going to have any water because we got that hose 8. We might be able to rig something up for that. He said when he parked it 40 years ago, he put new oil in it. That's what he said. So, look at that. Does not look dirty. Full. Directly to the full mark. Totally usable. Let's check the trans. Oh yeah. Blood red. Just what I like to see. I would check the brake fluid, but it's got this weird system where I think the booster and the master cylinder is underneath the car. So I can't, it's not up where you can easily get it. But we're not really going to be using the brakes right now anyway. We just want to see if it runs. Before we put a battery to it, I do just want to try and crank it by hand and just see, because you don't want to be busting teeth off of starters and flywheels. I can see the crank turning a little bit, but it's probably hitting a rust spot in the cylinders. Yeah. So what we'll have to do is take the plugs out. We'll look in the cylinders with a borescope, and then we might have to put some Marvel Mystery Oil in the cylinders, and you know, I'm sure we will see which one is giving us the problems.
My grandma used to, in her not spare time, I don't know how she ever found time to do it, but she used to make wedding cakes.
Uh-huh.
She used to haul them around in this car.
She used to haul wedding cakes around in this thing?
I don't know why I remember that, but I do.
You know, it's weird. You remember some things and you don't remember others. You remember conversations that really were obscure, and then sometimes you don't remember things that you should have been. I mean, they do have some liquid on them, which is probably what you put in 2011, because you said you took
I loaded it up with Marvel Mystery Oil.
Right, you said you went back in 2011, checked it out, put the Marvel Mystery Oil in the cylinders,
right,
and then left it. So, I mean, they are wet, so I guess it didn't stop it from locking up, though, but yeah, I just got stuff on them. This plug is a little rusty. This one's got more crud on it than the others. No matter what, one valve is always open, like in the rotation, so that was probably the one that was open when it was parked, and that's the one that got the moisture. But we'll put the scope in it and see. Yeah, see, this plug still, it's got the same issue.
Oh, dry?
Well, it's got some rust on it. See that corrosion on there?
Look at the throttle body, it looks rusty.
This one's got the same deal. This one looks trash too. This one doesn't look too bad. I mean, it looks a little oily, but it's not bad. So coming in the first cylinder here, doesn't look too bad. You can see some carbon deposit on the top of the cylinder. Cylinder walls don't look bad. Pretty average. Coming into the next cylinder, looks a little rougher. Piston's close to the top, so it can't get super far down in there, but it has a little bit of rust down there by the spark plug hole, as you can see right there. It's probably helping the motor be locked up a little bit. Coming into the next one, this one looks pretty good. This one kind of looks like the first one. A little bit of carbon on the cylinder. Cylinder wall looks pretty decent. I'm not worried about this one. Coming over to the other side of the engine, I think this is cylinder number 7. This one looks a little bit rougher here. You can see that this is like the liquid down on that cylinder is what he put in there in 2011, I'm assuming, but there's quite a bit of rust in this cylinder. This one's not too good. A lot of moisture's got in here, and that rust has to come from somewhere else in the motor to be down in there. Coming into number 5, this is real bad. This looks like somebody just threw a handful of rust down in there. Probably a valve was definitely open on this one. This is pretty bad. Hopefully we can get that out or push it out or something. But that rust could have came off of the valves. It could have came off of the head. It could have came off of the cylinder walls. I mean, something, you know, something had to give it up for that, and that's not a good sign. Coming into the next one, this one looks not bad. It's a totally different story. Looks like a couple of the others where, you know, just looks like regular wear. Next cylinder looks about the same. Nothing crazy to report here. Just looks like normal firing. Looks a little wet from previous stuff put in it. And in the last cylinder, it was close to the top, couldn't get much in there. But luckily, the piston wasn't down because it looks like it did get some moisture. So Dan has a compressor we just plugged in. I'm letting it build up some air pressure. I was about to put Marvel Mr. Oil down in the cylinders. I caught myself because I thought once you put the Marvel in the cylinders, all that rust is going to get wet and clumped together. And before it gets wet, I want to try and blow the cylinders out as much as I can, you know, maybe get some of that stuff out and then put the Marvel in it, because once it's wet, it's not going to want to move. Oh, there it goes. It just quit. So let's spray them. Look at that. Look at that.
Funny you guys use that whole thing.
We use what?
Use that kind of oil.
Oh yeah.
My grandpa swore by it.
Well,
He had it everywhere.
it works. Get some down in here. This one might have been close to the top if I remember. This one also wasn't too bad. It was really the 5 that was. While we're doing all this, let's just see if this. Oh yeah. She is frozen solid. Where's that spray stuff? Oh, here we go. Man, Dan, how old's this can?
It's old.
Look at my can and look at his can. The graphics are faded off of it. Anything that pivots. It's pretty obvious it's gonna fight us, so we're just gonna jack it up, get to the flywheel, and pry on it. That exhaust is like right below that bolt. I can't get a socket on it. I hope this thing actually comes out. Barely. What the hell? Oh yeah. It's crusty. There it goes. There it is. Yeah. Oh yeah. It ain't liking it. I'll tell you that. Ooh wee.
Some movement?
I mean, I was, but it's hit a hard spot. It's just not happy. It needs to go the other way. Oh man, alive. Ooh. There we go. There it is. Oh man. There we go. There we are. It's coming. You got some more rags, Danny?
Yes. Need more of that.
Yeah.
I got floor dry.
A what?
I got floor dry we can throw down too.
Floor what?
Floor dry.
Oh, like that kitty litter?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It absorbs it.
Yeah. I mean, we could put that down too. Turning rough, but
Uh-oh, it's coming on both sides. I'm getting floor dry up.
just keep working it. Yeah, yeah. 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 There we go. I like that. Now it's moving easier. Now we can probably hit it with the starter and rotate it. Just give these terminal ends a little cleaning and help them make the best connection they can. I know this battery's charged. I accidentally left the charger on all night long. So it should be nice and hot. See if anything sparks. We're good. I'm curious to see what do you think is going to work when we turn the key on? You think anything will come on? Headlights, radio?
Radio, I don't think will come on because they got into the cone there. That's just.
This is free. It's the linkage on the carb.
Get some more spray.
Yeah, we'll spray it and then we can work it too. I just opened the door and I think I see something in the reflection.
Look.
Oh man, that's amazing. You got the keys? I got them. I don't hear an electric fuel pump, so that's good. Dash lights. See it? Look, the temperature gauge moves. The amp gauge should move. Look at that. Wow. Look at that. Hold on, watch. The headlights must be working.
They are.
Are they?
Yeah.
Wow. That's really cool. Let's see. Are the taillights working? I can see it. Look at that. Wow, that's insane. Let's try the turn signals or something. Actually, you know what? Hold on. Sometimes. Oh, the horn. Wow. That's crazy. Oh my gosh.
I got it.
Is the signal working back there?
Back there. See if it works on the bumper up here. Nah, nothing on the bumper.
No, nothing? That's probably just a bulb. Let's try the right.
This side works.
Yeah. Is the back working? Let's look.
Yeah.
Wow, unbelievable. 42 years, right? 40?
There's a locked.
I can hear that door moving, but I was seeing it. Sometimes these switches they get dirty. I mean, it could be a fuse, but it could be dirty.
Could have been one of those wires up there.
Wire could also be broke. Oh, thought I heard something.
Flying.
Wow.
The high school student ran the best time during the preliminary events before she picked up the...
It's trying. Oh, it stopped.
The Daily Mail, it does what it wants, obviously. She was announced as the state champion and her name was met with a mixture of cheers and boos.
That is wicked cool.
God, I would love to interview the people who cheered. Thank you.
Oh, I heard something. I heard some music. The dial isn't wanting to do its thing. I'm gonna have to do it with the buttons. Oh, it's playing. It played music. That is crazy. Wow. I can't believe that. It's unbelievable. Well, we can try it later, but I'm curious to know if your 8-track player will still play.
I don't have an 8-track.
You don't have any 8-tracks?
Uh-uh.
I bet it would still work. Cause,
If I had an 8-track, I'd be giving it to you right now.
yeah, because Dan, he put this in. You put that in the 80s, right? When you were driving this, you put it in.
1979.
79. That's cruising around listening to Led Zeppelin and whatever else. Yeah, there it goes. The wires are all good, everything. Yeah. We'll give this a check.
Need some?
Yeah, you got any ATF? It's good not to crank it and run it dry if it does start. I'm just gonna go ahead and test compression here, see if it's got any. Go ahead and crank it for like 3 to 5 seconds. All right, that one's got compression. Again. Again. Yeah. Again. Let's see, this one has nothing. Again. Yeah, it's low. Again. That's low. Again. Hey. Yeah, we basically have nothing. Again. That one's getting it, bringing it around. Again. That's kind of bringing it around. All right, go ahead. Nothing. Okay. That one's got it a little bit. Okay. That one's got it a little bit. Okay. Yeah. That's what it should be like. Crank it. Yeah. That's what it should be like. See that? Just bam, bam. One more time. Yeah. See, that one's got killer compression. The rest of these, terrible. Again. That's not bad. That would go. Again. There we go. That's coming back. Go ahead. There. That one's still a little light, but this side's a lot better than the other side. The other side, man, that one's bad. Be good to take these valve covers off. We need to see if all the valves are operating. If they're stuck open, then that's going to be cause for no compression. And then if all the valves are working, then you know it's the rings. Now you said that who overhauled this motor? Your grandfather? Or
I think Pontiac Garage in Creston, Iowa did.
Why'd they have it overhauled?
Because it lost, there's a real short radiator, this little short radiator hose. It blew in the middle of the desert in New Mexico.
Uh-huh.
And my aunt's kind of frail and ailing, and they were trying to get to the next town. So it took the temper out of the rings.
Oh, and then it had no compression?
Right, so when they got back home, they had to do a complete overhaul.
Okay, so it was overhauled by, what, your grandfather, but Pontiac.
Pontiac.
And then it only has like 15,000 on the redo?
Right, and then plus whatever I put on it after I got it running.
Yeah, that doesn't look bad at all. Again. Again. Yeah. Yeah. A little wobbly, but yeah, no, they're working, Let's do the other side. I'm gonna leave the valve cover like that because in order to get it off, you'd have to take these power steering hoses off, and I just put fluid in it, so if second you undo that line, it's gonna just start pouring out everywhere, so we can see it from here, so. Again. Again. One more time. Oh, look at that. Huh. Hold on. Look at that. It's getting oil up here.
Is it?
Yeah. That valve is... Look at that. That's crazy loose. Unless that push rod's bent. Yeah. Push rod's straight. So I took the rocker arm off and I got a few washers to put on top because for some reason this nut, it was going on really hard. We were reaching the end of the threads on the nut, or on the stud, I'm sorry. I didn't want to break it off, so we got to get to zero lash because, you know, that's what's going to make that valve open and shut. There, I like that. That'll work. Whew. See your choke. Let's see. Carburetor is very locked up. Alright, we're gonna need your pliers. Mine just broke in half.
What?
Wow. That's really rough. Okay. Again. Yeah. We definitely picked it up there. Again. There you go. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. This side's good. This side will run. The other side's good, you know, it's asleep. I'm gonna have Danny crank it while I blow it out with this gun. Oh yeah, can you hear it?
What?
Hear when I'm blowing how it's just going down into the crankcase?
Does that mean there's a hole in the piston?
It means it's getting past the rings. So it's 6 one way, half a dozen the other. We gotta take this carburetor off to get the throttle plates unstuck, and we also gotta check and see if the ignition system's working, because really you can just dump stuff down there, down the throat, and it'll come on and fire, but I'd like to get it to actually idle and stuff. I'm just gonna go ahead and check the ignition system and try and get spark. But we have some plug wires ate off, and I think one of the wires right here is ate off that goes to the coil. So, is the key on?
Yes.
I just saw it. There it is. Coil wire's getting power. Best angle to get you guys. Here's the wire that comes from the car. We'll just strip it a little bit. Alligator clip. Just clip it to there. Yep. Yep. It's making it. I brought some new plug wires with me because these are ate off. So we'll put a coil wire on it. Okay. Nothing. Crank it. Alright. Crank it. Alright. Points aren't opening and shutting. They're staying closed or something. Something's going on in that distributor. See, if the points are working right, that light should be shutting on and off, on and off, on and off as the points open and close. But they're staying shut or something. Yeah, the inside of the cap looks not bad. See how they're not doing nothing? They should be opening and closing, obviously. Crank it?
Ready?
Yeah. Alright. Now they're opening and closing. So I filed the points down and I adjusted them with the screwdriver. And let's see. There we go. See that? Okay. Yeah, we got it.
I figure a couple weeks you're not going to be able to stand to be out here anyways.
No, it's done till October.
There it is. Crank it. Yep. Yeah, it's got it. Carburetor's been sitting overnight with PP Blaster on it. Sprayed it down pretty good before I left yesterday, and it's still, I mean, solid as a rock. Absolutely no play, no leeway. So we're gonna have to put some propane heat to it. I do have my torch, but I don't want to go crazy on it because it's just a carburetor. Settling makes a lot of heat. And also, you don't know where it's stuck. It could be stuck here, you know, because the rod goes through the whole thing, through the throttle plates and all that. It could be stuck here, it could be stuck here, it could be stuck here. You don't know which pivot point it's actually not moving because of. So I finally broke it loose. I was almost scared that I wasn't gonna get it. I ran out of oxygen and I was on the last leg of that propane torch, and where it was stuck was right here. It was stuck right here because the rod goes all the way through, and I twisted this side and it would barely turn. This would turn. I could see these throttle plates turning just a little bit. But you know, it was twisting because this was not turning. So I was just basically twisting this rod. But it was free here, free here, free here, and free here. So I knew it was here. Heated the piss out of it multiple times. Finally got it to break loose. It still turns a little rough, but it broke loose, and I've been lubing it and everything. But this thing is still hot. So while that's cooling down, I'm going to come over here and finish up the ignition system. I thought cylinder number 1 was on the passenger side, but this is cylinder number 1. These go counterclockwise, and it's the same firing order as a small block. So this is cylinder 1, 8 goes to this side, 4, 3 comes over here, 6, 5, 7, and 2 goes over there. So this is our number 1, and we'll follow it this way. All the plugs on that side are good. All the plugs on this side got 8. 8, 4, 6. Wrong. 6, 2. Should be cylinder number 1, 2. Should be 7, 5, and let's see, 1, 8, 4, 3. Should be the last one. Now that the carburetor's had some time to cool off, I went ahead and taped off this vacuum port on the back. It's got 2 outlets on it that these 2 lines screw into, and one of these goes to like the fuel separator, the glass bowl separator, and I don't know what it's for. And then this one goes to that booster vacuum tank I was telling you about. And we don't need those at the moment, so I just taped them off because they were most likely going to be vacuum leaks anyway. And I notice now that this has cooled down, it turns harder. I mean, when you go to rebuild the carburetor, you'll fix that, you know, but for our purposes, we'll just, you know, do it like that. Here's our main fuel feed to the carb, but I'm going to unhook it from here because this sediment bowl, this is where that vacuum goes to. It's just a leak. So I pretty much have everything hooked up. Carburetor's on. I got this ran to my electric fuel pump, plug wires, spark plugs and everything, but I don't want to crank it over and actually try and fire it till Danny gets here because obviously, you know, it's his car. I'm sure he wants to see it run for the very first time. So while I'm waiting for him, I'm going to try to do something about this water system. Now, you can run them for a few minutes with no water in them just to see if they'll run. But if we can get water in this thing, then if it does fire off, we can run it longer. And I'm pretty sure it's going to do something. With compression on most of those cylinders, I'm pretty confident that we're going to get something out of this thing. Basically got to peel it off of there. Some of that. Man. I'm going to take this thermostat housing off and go ahead and take that thermostat out, put some gasket sealer around it and put it back on, just run open thermostat. If the water pump's pumping, it'll just cycle through the system. Plus there's rat turds on top of that thermostat anyway. Oh, thought that was going to be a little rougher. Good thing that thermostat was in there. Oh, what in the world? Look at that. What is that? I wonder if this is the original thermostat. If it is, I'm keeping it. Ah, that's neat. All right, let's try and get this thing out of here. There we go. There we go. I gotta ask Danny if I can have this. This is so cool. Dole Valve Co. Morton Grove, Illinois, USA. 11 of 60. So this 11 of 60. Obviously this is a 57, so this was replaced somewhere in 1960-61. This probably got replaced. Remember earlier Danny said that the car overheated. They had the car motor redone by Pontiac in Iowa. When they redid the motor, they probably put this in there at Pontiac. So that is neat. If you look at the other side, right here, you can see it's a 180-degree thermostat. So we're just going to use some sealant. I don't have a correct thermostat gasket, housing gasket, but for now we can just use some of this. Give it another couple of pulls, aerate it, then tighten it down. Give it a little wipe around. This is a hose I just brought from home. It's just a random one that I was hoping would fit. Let's see. That ain't gonna work. Obviously, it's gonna have to go like this. And the angles are off, but if we can even just jam it on there. There we go. Yeah. Almost on there. It's just the wrong size. It isn't gonna want to go. Maybe I can round up another one. So I ran home real quick. This hose I had won't work. Put that over there. This is the original hose, and then here is the hose that I found. So the diameters are almost exactly the same. The shape is just a little different. So maybe we can, I don't know, put this on like that. Yeah, that fits much better. Maybe we can like twist it like that or something and cut it right here. There it is. It's a little bit kinked, but it'll still flow enough water for what we're trying to do here. You want to turn it on a little bit? Like, there you go. That's good.
That stuff is quick. It's called the rank stuff.
I took the thermostat out.
Okay.
Can I keep that thermostat?
Out of this car?
Yeah,
Why?
because it's cool. If you don't want it.
You think it'll work? You wouldn't put it. I wouldn't
No,
use
no,
it
no.
again anyway.
No. I wouldn't use it. It's cool. It's just
You
cool.
keep it.
Okay, cool. Thanks. This thing is empty. Because I keep looking at this radiator where you said you thought it might be dripping, but I don't see anything. I'm kind of going to do just half throttle.
It's even too much, a quarter.
Alright. Key on, go ahead and crank it, Danny.
Spray a little bit.
Go ahead. Maybe we can just,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, go ahead. Crank it. Crank it. Yeah. Sparking.
Yeah, it's sparking. It's just not.
I got my
It's just got to decide that it's a motor again. It's been sitting too long.
unless I have the firing order wrong, which I don't think I do. It's trying. It's trying on maybe one. Should I put my charger on it? Get it.
It's getting there. It's getting low.
Just go ahead and crank it. See what it sounds like. Come on, come on, come on. Come on. All right, go ahead and try it.
Hold it wide open. Hold it open.
I mean, it's trying. It's getting a little better all the time. There we go. Here.
I like that.
All right, Danny, go ahead and try it. Come on. Ooh.
That was a little more motion, I think.
Yeah, I heard it trying.
Once you get them cylinders warmed up, it'll start starting.
Right.
What we just did was I took the plugs out and we put some oil in the cylinders, like some, what was it, motor oil or gear oil?
Gear oil mixed with some marble.
Marble, yeah.
Just to thin it down just a hair.
Yeah, to give it some more compression, because that's what we're fighting is compression. Oh wait, hold on.
Over here.
No.
What's wrong?
Did I not put
You
the...
might want to edit that out.
Yeah, what happened? The plugs aren't in over here.
Smoking.
I don't know.
getting past some rings.
Them rings ain't seating.
Alright. Might have to come back.
Man, she's pumping the oil. Yeah, let it sit and cool off overnight.
Yeah. So I'm back here the next day. Yesterday evening it was just a bunch of cranking gas, checking to see if the plugs are fouled, cranking gas. Well, I left last night and then I came back after dinner to pour some stuff down the cylinders to let it set all night. I poured a mixture of diesel, acetone, and Marvel Mystery Oil down the cylinders, kind of as a Hail Mary. I did it on the 48 Chevy, and you know, it did bring it around enough to start that motor. So I said I want it to sit all night. So now what I want to do is turn it over, get the fluid out of the spark plug holes if there's any in there before you put the plugs in. Don't want to hydrolock it. And then we'll test it for compression and see if it's better than it was. Yeah, go ahead and bump it over. Okay. Yeah, I wanted to crank it a few times. Try it. Try it. Okay. That's pretty good. Again. And we got a little bit on there. Okay, try it. Yeah. That's good. Again. Yeah. Again. Again. Yeah. Well, it's marginal. It's not bad. It should run. It's got enough that I would think it would go. Oh yeah, this freed up enough to...
Oh, look at that. Woohoo!
Yeah.
Well, that took a heck of a lot of doing.
Yeah.
Just a little bit. That's good. Just give her a broth when he's turning it over.
All right, Danny, go ahead.
That's... Hold it to the floor and have him turned over.
Hold on, let me try a little bit of gas. All right. Go ahead. Hold on. Go ahead. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's getting spark. Before we keep going, we're going to actually get a compression gauge on this and literally see what's going on. We know the back cylinder, that would be cylinder 7, is not going to do anything because remember yesterday how I had to keep putting washers on this, on that one rocker? Well, I had to put some more washers on it today, and then I watched it when Danny cranked it, and instead of pushing the valve down, it's lifting the stud out of the head. So that valve is completely stuck. So cylinder 7 is just
kaput.
Yeah, we'll just consider it down, but you know, it'll still run on 6 if it'll even do it. So let's see what the compression is. I mean, really just to see what we're working with here, because we might not even be able to overcome it. Yeah, 30.
That's a no-go. Really everything gets marginal after 80, but they'll still run on 65 or 70. They'll start, but 30?
No.
It ain't starting.
Alright, 40.
Usually 3 hits. Usually 3 hits is where you want it to hit.
Okay, 50.
That one would run.
Yeah, so this one's at 80. Still not
That
good.
was 88, wasn't it?
Nah, it was about 80.
It would run.
Okay. 50. Yeah. That one's 90.
Yeah.
All right, last one. Go ahead.
50.
All right. It's got about 78, almost 80.
Okay, so that one should run. Go pick one of them ones over there real quick.
All right, so I came back the next day to try one more trick to get this compression up. What I did was took all the plugs out, put tranny fluid in the cylinders to try and raise the compression. All right, that's definitely better than it was yesterday, and we have quite a few of these above 100. So I'm gonna put the plugs back in and give it a shot again. All right, Danny. Wait. Heh.
Go.
No, I don't have the coil wire hooked up.
Good. A little bit too much kicking back. It's trying. Yeah. Your gap.
All right, stop.
You ready?
Yeah.
Hard.
All right, try it, Danny.
A little bit. A little bit.
There it went.
There it went.
All right. Man alive. Woo-wee.
Something was trying to live in my pipe.
Floats sticking and not letting gas in? Or? Come on.
Danny still in here?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Woo!
I'm turning the key off.
Come out through the smoke, Danny.
Over here.
Man alive. What sure went. Ah.
Neighbors gonna be calling the fire department.
We won't even talk about it.
Yeah, one pipe I couldn't feel anything coming out of it though. It's like it's got a bunch of
Oh, it's plugged up?
yeah.
Oh, you got back there?
I went back and put my hand there.
Oh, when I was
and
running
barely
it?
puffing it.
Well, it's probably coming out every other hole before it gets to the back.
I think the mosquitoes are gone.
Man, that was intense, man. Finally, man. I knew it. Finally. And I'd almost given up on it, man. Yesterday, I did throw in the towel. I thought I was done. Well, it did it. It finally did it. Crap. Blew a bunch of other stuff out here.
Because I'm gonna have him put a little gas in my cup here.
Might have to coax it again just to...
I'm gonna watch these gauges in here.
Yeah, see if it's charged.
I think I heard that generator charging.
Oh, you really?
I think I heard it humming. The miracles of oil in the cylinder.
Yeah, that brought us up.
That got us up to where it coaxed it into running.
Yeah. Oh, come put that idler screw in a little bit.
It's too bad that valve cover's not off. Now'd be the time to start pounding on that valve. Because once that motor gets warm, that valve's liable to let loose. Well, the compression in the can worked.
Should we keep trying it or call it?
That's done it. You did it.
I wanted to kind of hear it idle, but yeah.
It ain't gonna idle.
But I did want to show you guys one more thing. Hit the next one. Look at that. It works. That old 8-track player he put in there in the 80s still works. So like I said earlier, I'm curious to see if this thermostat works after 64 years. Go ahead and crank it up on the old stove here. Got some water. But I don't think I've ever put the inside of my house on YouTube before. You guys think I just like to work on old cars. That's not true. I have lots of other old things, like this 1950s O'Keefe and Merritt stove that I put in here. And I had the countertops made around the stove. That's how much I wanted this thing. 6 burners, 2 stoves, 2 broilers. This was like the Cadillac of the stoves back in the day. Pretty neat. Has a clock right here. Has like a little recipe, not recipe, but it tells you what temperatures to put biscuits and potatoes at. It's got salt and pepper shakers right here. I mean, this is a cool stove. I even found a light for it. Really like this stove. I had all the chrome redone, and then this is my fridge. This is a 1950s, probably mid-50s General Electric fridge and freezer combo. Pretty cool. I restored that Coca-Cola cooler right there, and this was, my friend gave me this. This is a 1950s ice cream ready to serve canvas bag. Very cool. Home delivery container. So I like to collect all sorts of things, signs, appliances, Formica table from the 50s, you know, I love it all. I love all that stuff. Starting to see a few little bubbles form there in the bottom. So we'll go ahead and set this in there and hopefully it opens. It'd be kind of cool to see. See it? Oh yeah. I think so. Oh yeah, I see it. It's going. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. I mean, I'm blown away. Wow. 64 years old. Should close up again. There it goes. What a cool little piece of history that is.